Hello, welcome to another session of Ming's classroom. Today we'll talk about coefficients and degree. Now, let us start with our aim here is to define what is coefficient and then to define what is degree, and then understand how to distinguish coefficient from degree. Now, if you have x plus x plus x plus x, four of them, well, usually we write it as 4 of x. Right, 4 of x. And this 4 here, that is what we call the coefficient. So that's the coefficient here. And if you have negative a plus negative a plus negative a, 3 times of negative a, so we will simply write 3 times of negative a. Right? This is usually written as negative 3a. And in this particular case, the coefficient is negative 3. So, can you guess what's the definition of coefficient? Yep, coefficient is basically the numerical value or the constant multiplier of the algebraic term. Right, so in this case, it's 4. In this particular case, it's negative 3. You also have something written, sometimes x written just like this, just x, right? Here, basically the coefficient here is 1 times x. So usually, 1 times x, we don't usually write 1 as the coefficient. We just usually write x by itself. And obviously, you can also have 0 as a coefficient. 0x is usually written as just 0. And can we have fractional values in front of the variables or the algebraic term? Yeah, definitely. So we could also have things like this. So in this particular case, guess where is the coefficient? Very good. The coefficient is half. Right. Now that's coefficient. Next, we look at degree. Degree, you can think of it this way. For example, x times x times x times x. X multiplied by itself 4 times. That is basically x to the power of 4. 4 here, that's the degree. 4 is the degree in this case. Or you can have something like this. Negative a times negative a times negative a equal to negative a cubed. In this particular case, the degree is 3. Right? In here, this example, the degree is 1. And we could have x to the power of 1, degree 1. Well, x to the power of 1 usually just written as x. Just written as x, so 1 degree. You could have also x to the power of 0. And in this particular case, it is actually 1. The degree here is 0. So for any number 1, the degree is actually 0. Right? And you could have also something like this. But degree here, the definition of degree is a little bit difficult in the sense that you can have something multiplied by itself. How many times? That's the degree. Or you can have something like this. A squared, B squared. Now this is a particular term. A squared, B squared, one term by itself. What's the degree of this particular term? Well, in this case, the degree here is 4, because 2 plus 2 is 4. So the degree here can also be the sum of an algebraic term, the sum of the powers of an algebraic term. So in this case, 2 plus 2 is 4, in other case. Right? X cubed and y. What's the degree of this particular term? Well, the degree of the term here is also 4 because it's 3 plus 1, which is also 4. Right? So try this one. What is the degree of this thing? Sorry, this one is. What's the degree of this particular term? Very good. The degree of this particular term is 5. Right? Now, if I expand here a little bit, the degree here, if for a particular equation, the degree of an expression, for example, if I have an expression like this, x squared plus 2x plus 5. Well, if I look at each of the terms separately, the first term has degree 2, the second term has degree 1, the last term has degree 0. Right? If I ask, what's the degree of this expression? Usually we mean the largest power in this particular expression. In this case, the degree will be 2. Because 2 is the largest degree in this particular expression. Let's try again. How about this one? X what is the degree of this particular expression in green? Very good. The degree in this particular expression is 4. Right, the degree is 4. We could also add another one. Right, for this particular case. Well, if I'm just going to ask the degree here, well, depending on how I'm going to ask this question. If I'm going to ask this question as, what's the degree of this particular expression in terms of x? In terms of x. So that will be 2. The degree here is 2 because x squared, x power 1, and so on. This particular term itself, the degree here is 3. 2 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So in this expression together, in terms of x, y, if this is that, what is the degree of this expression in terms of x, y? Well, in this case, the degree will be 3 because 2 plus 1. So in terms of expression, you have to be very, very careful with degree. So as a recap, degree can be thought of as the sum of the power of an algebraic term. So in this case, just 4, 3, 1, 0. In here is the sum, 2 plus 2, 4. Here is 3 plus 1, also 4. 2 plus 3, 5. Degree can also be used in terms of an expression. You say, in this particular expression, that is the highest power, degree is 2. Here is 4. And this question, we have to specify what variable that we are talking about. If in terms of x, then the highest degree is 2. In terms of x, y, then the highest degree is 2 plus 1, 3. Thank you for attending another class.